What's up, guys? So my name's Joe and this is a channel for dads by dads, and subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate it. So today we're gonna be talking about the GMC Sierra and the differences between the older model and the new model. This is the 2019 model, so it's a new body style, a new interior, and I had a 2014 GMC Sierra and I had the all-terrain model. Great truck, love the truck. I bought it used, actually. I bought it with 33,000 miles on it, and I think I paid like 35,000 for it, but it was a great truck. It was my first pickup truck. It was the first year with a new body style, so I guess it was, you know, the first year they tried a bunch of new things. They had the new engine in it, had that 6-speed tranny, and we're going to talk about that because that thing was a joke. So the truck, I love the truck. I love the interior on that truck. I loved everything about it. It had the shorter cab on there. It's still the 4-door cab, but the shorter back seat. That's not ideal. I would never ever go back and get a truck that had the shorter cab. I got kids, so when I put a car seat in the back, there just was not a lot of room. So when I got my new truck, I made sure I got the extended cab. Love the extended cab, so much room. But anyways, so we're comparing the old model to the new model. My last truck, the 2014 all-terrain, let's talk about the transmission on that truck, because that was the biggest thing. I bought it with 33,000 miles on it. When I hit 105,000 miles, it was making some, it was stuttering. So like if you gave it some power, it would lag, kind of skip. Brought it down to the dealership. They told me I needed a new transmission. Okay, well, the new transmission was $7,000 to put a new transmission in there. And what's the warranty? 100,000 mile warranty. 5,000 miles over the warranty, and it wouldn't cover it. So I had to pay $7,000 for a new transmission. Had them put the new transmission in, and you would think because they put the new transmission in, the truck would drive a lot smoother. Not the case at all. That transmission still did the same things it did from the start. A lot of people know about it, and you had the issues when you're sort of stuck in traffic, or you're going, you know, start stop. That transmission had so much jitter in it that it was a nightmare. Anyways, at the end of the day, it was a great truck, except for the transmission. Now, compare that to the new model. So there's a couple things that I wanted with the new model. My 2014 had the 5.3 in there. Great engine. I never really needed more power than that until I got the 6.2. This truck, I got the 6.2 and I got the 10-speed transmission. What a difference. So I think there's like 75 horsepower difference between the 5.3 and the 6.2. Big difference. If you're gonna get a new truck, get the 6.2 in there. Phenomenal engine. So that being the case, I made sure that I wanted those upgrades. I wanted the bigger engine, and I wanted the 10-speed transmission. Absolutely night and day difference between the two. So in this truck, there is no hesitation with the shifting. The shifting is smooth. When you're going start to stop, you're not even feeling those changes in your gears at all. My old truck, when you're on the highway and you're at like 75, 80 miles an hour, there was definitely a lot of vibration in the truck. I mean, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Almost like, you know, you really didn't want to go fast in that truck at all, just because of the vibration. Can you deal with it? Yes. Was it that big of a deal? Maybe not. Depends. This truck is smooth. Completely different than the old truck. I mean, honestly, I think I go like 80 miles an hour on average with this truck, and it drives like a cloud. 100% a lot smoother. You don't feel uncomfortable about going fast with this truck. And that's with the 10-speed, and that's with the 6.2. Now, I don't know how the other trucks are, the new models with the 5.3, and I know they got the 8-speed now. I think there's an 8-speed, or maybe it's still the old 6-speed and the 10-speed. The difference between the two, I really couldn't tell you. Did they fix the problem? I don't know. But 10-speed, definitely the way to go. And let's talk about the interior, right? So the interior is completely different for the new model. They changed the exterior, they changed the interior. I like the interior of the new truck. Do I think they could have done a better job? Yes. I mean, let's be realistic. I think the best interior out there right now of pickup trucks would be the Dodge, right? Dodge has got a beautiful interior. Ford, not a big fan. This, if I were to rate it 1 out of 10, I would probably give it a 6. And I would probably give the Dodge maybe an 8, right? So, Dodge interior, beautiful. The Ford interior, and okay. GMC and Chevy interior, pretty good. But they could have done a better job. So, you know, what are my complaints? Really, I would say the screen. They could have done something bigger with the screen, right? I mean, maybe a bigger screen, maybe a better way to kind of integrate this, you know, this together. But it's still nice. I still like it. You know, the rubber knobs that we used to have down here, those are really comfortable. It's kind of like a plastic chrome kind of thing. Not as good, I don't think. The gauge cluster. So, you know how you have your RPMs and you got your mile per hours, and then above that you got your oil pressure and your temperature, gas and battery. Well, that display right there looks so much better on my all-terrain model. Now, granted, this is not the all-terrain model, right? So we're not comparing the all-terrain to the new all-terrain. This is the SLT. It's still loaded with everything, but you know, it's not a Denali. I mean, it's, you don't have the whole display screen, which would probably look 10 times better, but I think they could have done a better job with showing that off. It's kind of plain Jane a little bit. They do have this white kind of LED going around the gauges, which is nice. I like that. That looks good at night. Steering wheel, I think the steering wheel design's a lot better. You still have all the controls on the steering wheel. I like that. The only thing I don't like is, you know, we have some arrows here, like up and down arrow. They don't do anything on my truck. I don't even think they press them. They're not really a button. Maybe on different models they do stuff, but mine it doesn't. I do have some features in here that I didn't have on my all-terrain model. I have the lane assist on here. You have there's a follow distance, so if you get too close to a car, you'll get this display. It'll beep. I didn't have that. A necessity that I needed to have compared to my old truck, I did not have the cooled seats. So that I needed the ventilated seats. If you're gonna get a truck, definitely get the ventilated seats. In the summertime, oh my God, that's the best thing in the world. Use it every day. With the new trucks, you have, there's a tailgate opener now, which they didn't have in my 14 model. Maybe they had that with the newer models. But this truck does have the tailgate opener, and it does have the whole GMC folding tailgate, which is awesome. I mean, who doesn't love that, right? Some of the other differences, is they changed where your trailer braking is. That's over here instead of on the left side. I didn't do a lot of trailering, so it doesn't matter to me. I guess not, but maybe it's more comfortable over here, right? You have the heated seats, same thing at my old truck. What they did change that I like about this truck is they give you a sports mode for your transmission, and I guess sports mode is great. It just changes how your transmission is going to shift, so it gives you a later shift, higher RPMs, sort of like if you're going into trailer mode, it's going to change your shifting in the transmission. But they do have the sports mode, so I guess if you're going to race your truck, whatever it may be, you know, you got the sports mode option on there. You want to go fast, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you got 425 horsepower, I think it is, with the 6.2. It's a lot of horsepower, and there's a, you know, it is nice to get it down there and just feel the power of the truck. The 5.3 did not have that kind of power. I'll tell you that right now. So definitely go with the 6.2. What else? I mean, really, it's you know, you got the on-off button now for the starting. I didn't have that in my 2014. Maybe the newer models did, but my 14 didn't have that, so it's kind of a cool feature. There's over here, beside your trailer and your sports and your normal drive, you do have the auto 4-wheel drive. I've been in some snow this year so far, and I've done the auto. The auto is nice, I guess, if you don't really know what kind of conditions you're going to run into, and if it's snowing or icing or whatever it may be. Maybe you want to put it in auto because you don't want to have that 4-wheel drive enabled all the time. So I tried the two, the 4-wheel drive and the auto. They both work really well. What I can tell you is that when you're in 4-wheel drive, and the same thing happened with my old truck, that no matter what, you always get that vibration from that front differential. I don't know what it is, but when you go into 4-wheel drive, even with my 14 model, it was the same thing, right? You put it in 4-wheel drive, you can definitely feel that you're in 4-wheel drive, especially if you give it some power. You know you're in 4-wheel drive, you get that vibration. I don't know if other trucks are like that. I only had one other 4-wheel drive truck before, and there was still some vibration when you put it in 4-wheel drive. Maybe that's a common thing. I don't know, because I really can't compare it to other pickup trucks and what they feel like when they're in 4-wheel drive. But you definitely get some vibration when you're in 4-wheel drive. So 2-wheel drive all the time, unless you need the 4-wheel drive. They have this new button on here now where you got the lights on the mirrors, right? So there's some big LED lights on both mirrors that you can turn on, whether it's the left side or the right side, or both of them on at the same time. I guess that's cool. Like if you need some lighting in front of you, you're doing some work, it's dark out, and you need some lights on out there. I haven't used it yet. I haven't come up with a case that I needed to use it for, so I don't know. But it's there. You know, is it something that's like, hey, I need that? Probably not, right? So then you have your cruise control options over here too on top of that, and you got your fog lights. What else? I mean, the display. So the displays come with you get the Apple CarPlay, and you get the Android CarPlay. And then you get the built-in navigation that's already in the truck on top of that. I use Apple CarPlay every day I'm in my truck. That's all I use, because it's the same thing that's on my phone. It's convenient. I don't think I've used a navigation on the truck once. It's always done through my Apple CarPlay. Another cool feature that a lot of people don't use is your auto setting with your heating and cooling. If you don't use auto, then you're insane. Auto is the most convenient thing out there when it comes to heating and cooling in your truck or the car, whatever it is. You just set your temperature, you put it on auto, and it's automatically going to make your car that temperature. You don't have to constantly adjust your temperature on and off, and how fast you want your fans and what temperature you want the heat to blow out. Just put it on auto, and that's all you need to do. I mean, honestly, it's 77 right now. It's kind of cold out, but normally I have it on like 75, and I'll leave it there. It's great. Some cool things about the touchscreen. I feel like this touchscreen is a lot better than the older model. A lot more features. But like I said, I use the Apple CarPlay all the time. What else? So USB ports, they're all over the place. I mean, now I have them in the back for the back seat. You got USB, and then you got the C. That comes here and in the glove box, or the center console, and in the back, which is really nice. I do have the heated seats in the back. If you don't have heated seats in the back, I guess that's really not a big deal. How often do you use it? Unless you got the kids in the car, I guess, right? Some things with the on-screen display, they have this new thing on there where you could see like your turning radius and your incline and decline and all that kind of stuff. I guess that's cool, like if you're kind of off-roading. I can tell you that the truck does automatically put itself the emergency brake on if you're at a certain incline, and I think it does it when you're in park no matter what. So if you put your car in park and you get out of your car, I'm pretty sure the emergency brake goes on by itself and shuts off when you turn the car on, even if you're on an unlevel surface or a flat surface. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that's what it does. You have the cigarette lighter, and then you have an outlet. My old truck had the outlet too. Used it sometimes, not all the time. There were some other things. I mean, you know, my older GMC, the 14 model, was all lit up red. It had the red LEDs on there. That was really cool. I like that. This does not have that. It's got the white lights on there, which I really, really like the red. So I wish that was different. Big storage space in here. Now you got the two glove boxes like you did in the older models. That's still the same. The interior is obviously completely different. Like I said, still pretty good. I mean, that's really it. And like I said, so I would say the biggest differences between my old truck and this truck, drives a lot better. The shifting is smooth. Driving is smooth. The cabin, I would say, is probably just as quiet as my 14 was. GMC does a really good job at that. The other thing that I didn't have on my GMC, the 14, was the back window opens, or didn't open on my 14. Now I have the window that opens. Maybe that's just because it's a bigger cab in the back. But that I really enjoy in the summertime. I mean, that's really it. So if you're wondering, is it worth it to get the new model GMC Sierra? Yes, 100% it is worth it. I mean, it's one of those things where it's night and day. How you drive the truck, how the truck drives, the transmission, the power with the 6.2, the interior, the benefits. I mean, no doubt in my mind, totally worth it. Go for it. If you don't have a pickup truck and you're looking into new pickup trucks and you're wondering what truck to get, I mean, you know, really the three competitors out there, you got Ford, you got Chevy, and GMC, which is the same thing. GMC definitely being a lot better than Chevy. That's just whatever, in my mind. I think GMC is a better built truck. Whether that's the case or not, I don't know. I did test drive an LTZ before I bought this one. I like the body styling on the GMC a lot better than the Chevy Silverado. I think the GMC just looks a lot better. Oh, and there was a couple other things too. Like, so my old truck didn't have the lane assist. This one does. Honestly, it's gonna keep you in the lane. It's a weird feeling that you originally get when you're driving the truck, because you're not used to the steering wheel making those slight adjustments, staying in the lane, but it does do a good job with it. Should you let go of the steering wheel when you're driving? No, because it's not going to keep you in the lane. It's just going to give you a little bit of assistance with it. That's it. And if you do get outside the lane, it's gonna give you a warning. And you know, I set mine up for beeping before I had the seat vibrate. Either way, it's kind of cool. I like those features. It feels like higher class, you know, hey, this feature's there, blah blah blah. So yeah. And one thing we didn't talk about was the body styling of the truck. By far, GMC has got the best body style out there. That's my opinion. People will disagree with me on that, but I think GMC has got the best looking truck on the road right now. No doubt about that. Yeah, so like I said, if you're looking for a new truck and you're wondering what to get, even if you have an older model GMC Sierra or the Silverado, definitely the new models are the way to go. Transmission issue gone. Power of the engine phenomenal, great. The new back, you know, the back seat, how much room you have in the back. My wife has an SUV. My back seat is bigger than her back seat is. There is plenty of room back there. Put the kids back there. You know, it's one of those things where it's comfortable. You don't have to worry about their feet hitting the seat. So there is just so much room in the back. If there's one thing that I would add to this truck, I'm sorry, two things. There's two things that I would add to this truck that I don't have. One is the sunroof, and two is the heads-up display, which I think only comes in the Denali. Maybe it comes in the all-terrain model too, but the all-terrain model was out of my price range. I just, you know, I can't believe how much more the all-terrain model is compared to the SLT, but it is like 10 grand more. So was it worth it for me to go with that? No, because I got all the bells and whistles that I wanted in this truck besides those two things, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So yeah, that's it, guys. I mean, you know, if you have any questions, any comments, feel free to comment me. You know, subscribe to my page. This is my first video on the page. You know, really, we're going to be focusing on dad stuff, right? So what dads want, what dads are into. You know, we're going to be looking at vehicles. We're going to be looking at off-road vehicles, side-by-sides, quads, dirt bikes, stuff like that. We're going to go off-roading. We're going to hit the trails. We're going to drive up New Hampshire. We're going to be getting a new trailer for this truck. That's why I went with the 6.2 and a 10-speed. We're going to be getting an enclosed trailer, looking at like an 18-footer, something around maybe 3,000 pounds, 3,500 pounds, and then we're going to load that up with a couple side-by-sides, and we're going to go up in New Hampshire, go riding. You know, and we're going to looking at dad gadgets, you know, what dads are into, like TVs, you know, surround sound systems, awesome speaker stuff. You know, we're going to be looking at tools and drills, and, you know, we're just going to be checking out so much different things out there that dads are into. I'm going to show you the workshop I have at my house. We're going to go through that kind of stuff, you know, woodworking, things like that. So yeah, feel free to check it out. Subscribe to my page. I got a lot more videos coming up, and definitely stay tuned with the truck, because, you know, we're going to be doing some updates on the truck, how things progress, how the truck is in the future. You know, maybe there's some things that come up that I'm not happy with, and if there are, I will let you know. So keep in tuned and check out the channel. Thanks a lot.